Welcome to Off the Couch Talk, and yes, I do have an intro now, so I'm a little bit cooler. I still don't know what I'm doing, so I got to work on that. But I'm here to talk about, if you read the title and clicked on this, again, full understanding. Nobody's really going to be watching this in the beginning, but hopefully this finds you later. So Pokemon cards. This isn't a Pokemon card channel, but for some reason I'm on that kick because I'm into it. What can I say? If you watched my previous episode, I kind of explained how that happened, but I wanted to talk about something serious. Something so serious that soon I'm going to have to sell this camera that I'm recording on because I'm so in... No, I'm just kidding. It's not that serious, but if you look at the culmination of my journey with this Pokemon stuff, and what I used to have as a kid, because as a kid you're supposed to know that, hey, don't play with these cards. They're not fun. This is an investment, baby. If you don't know that, you're an idiot, and you lost money. So that's what I did. I lost money. About 30,000, I'd say. But the thing is, the value changes. So I lose more money every day, actually. But I'm going to get into what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to show you something. A little slice of the cards that I used to have back in starting at when this started, 2000, 1999. 1998, whatever. And it's hard to think about. I don't like thinking about it because it's painful. It's painful. I started back into Pokemon I think a month and a half ago at this point. Whenever Perfect Order dropped, that's when I got back into it. And before that, when I can say I was into it was like 2001. So a long freaking time, 25 years ago. Probably like most kids, you just grow out of it. You're too cool for it, whatever. But it's always been there. It's always been in the back of my head that, you know what? I like this. The games were always the main thing. It was always, the Game Boy game and then the trading card game, basically. Although the N64 Pokemon Snap, I always kind of like that too, but I always just liked the cards, I thought the art was cool. There was just something, even I don't even think I really knew, that it would be anything. It was just like, for some reason I liked it. Thought the cards are cool. There's like, one of them's holographic. It's cool. I don't even know what that is, but it's cool. Compounding with the Game Boy games and then eventually the movies. I don't know, but I never knew how to play the game. I never knew up until like 2 weeks ago when I downloaded the digital version of that Pokemon Live or whatever it's called, and actually, they guide you through and was like, oh, you know what? 33 years later, this is actually pretty cool. I still have never played the trading card game. I just played it digitally, so I can still say that, but it's, I just think that's fun. I think most people, honestly, even to this day, they don't play the game. They don't even know how. They're just like, I like the cards. Now it's more about money, but, that is part of the allure, so I can't talk too much crap on that because part of the reason why people, go crazy about it because they know it's valuable. So it's like it makes it more special. Very annoying to actually collect and buy, but you can't argue with that. It does make it more special, and it makes you feel better when you do get, those cards that you were looking for or that you own them because you're like, this isn't just cardboard. I know it's worth a lot of money until the day that people decide that it's not because it is just cardboard, but. So I'm going to show you a little slice of what I had back in the day without even, getting into specifics, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Because when I sold it in 2016 during Pokemon Go, you're like, oh, these pieces of cardboard have been just sitting in my closet for, at that point, 15 years. I don't care about them. Let me just sell them because that's what everyone else is doing, right? It just goes through years of that. I sold them for about $200. My entire collection, which at the time I was like, wow, $200 for pieces of cardboard. What idiot bought that? Yeah, now I'm the idiot, but I still didn't have any crazy cards, but I'll show you in a second. And eventually, I'm gonna open this knockout pack. So exciting, right? I have some more cool stuff, but I'm not gonna open it now. You'll have to keep tuning in because I will get cooler and cooler. Even Chaos Rising, I'm going to get some of that stuff at some point. Let me just preface this by saying that this actually isn't, this isn't a Pokemon channel. I'm not going to only be doing this. I'm just on a kick. And I'm going to tie this into the Pokemon movies, which I'm going to rewatch, do reactions to, review, all that stuff from the perspective of me, how special I am, right? And, basically, if you like Pokemon, I do too, but that's not all I'm going to talk about. Movies is my main bag here. And eventually I'll try to get guests. There's 2 local card stores that I think, I'm kind of building a relationship with one of them in particular. Maybe I can get them on here to talk about from their perspective. And then as far as movies, there's some people I could get on here to talk about that as well. Nobody crazy, but, still on topic. Let me just show you what I had back in the day. Why am I gone? Okay. There you go. Let me resize this in real time. So there you go. Can you see that? Let me try to zoom in here. So I think you can see the key card right here. Charizard. Oh, I'm getting a message here. Sick. So it's not a first edition. I wasn't cool enough or lucky enough to get that because I'd be in a mansion right now if I had that. But it was a base set, which at the time that I sold it, it wasn't worth it, like $50 or $100 or something in raw form. I didn't even know about grading when I sold it. I wish I did, because even back then it would have been worth more than that. Now I know about grading. I don't even know. I don't even think this was a 10. It's probably an 8, a 9 if I was lucky. But those are worth like 100. I think a 9 might be worth thousands. An 8 is probably hundreds. I don't know. You can correct me in the comments or if you happen to join. But just add up the values here. I mean, there's a couple cards in here that at the time I sold it, it was like everything's useless unless it's a Charizard. That's what it seemed like. But a lot of these cards are worth money in good condition. And I think most of my cards were. At least in 8 or 9 condition. A 10, probably not because I was a kid. I actually played with them. I took them out of the binder. Probably threw them around the room. I don't know. But even this Ancient Mew card, which I have another story. I'll get more on that later. But basically, this Ancient Mew card, if it was a 10, I think it's worth like $1,000 now. Same with this Venusaur, actually. I don't know about the second base set, whatever you want to call that. But a good amount of these cards, in good condition. I had some first editions. My champ doesn't count because everyone had that. But, Zapdos, Haunter, Hypno. This isn't even all of them, but there's a lot of value there. This is a picture of the cards that people throw away. Just had stacks of them. I don't even know what there was, but you can see I actually had a Shadowless first edition Coughing. Whatever that's worth. That's like the most prized, form of it, but it's a Coughing at the end of the day. See another close up here. Oh my god. Clefairies. I don't know. You tell me. See anything good in there? Memories. Memories of the money I lost. That's what I have here. You know where I got these pictures from? It wasn't just me taking pictures of cards. This was my ad pictures. This is what I took pictures to sell these cards in 2016. And I was thinking about that. Like, I know I took pictures. Everything's on the cloud. Let me see if I can find them. And I found them. God, I wish I had. Oh, Dark Blastoise. It's not a first edition, but that's more valuable now. So, how does this add up to 30 grand? Well, I got a story here. Maybe this, if these were all, I don't know what they were. I doubt, maybe one of them was a 10. Maybe. I think 7, 8, 9. That's probably the range these cards were. So a couple $100, you know, if you add all this stuff up. I mean, this Charizard alone, you know, is a couple $100. So, you know, maybe it adds up to. It depends what they're worth, right? It could be 10,000, it could be 1,000, but I think it's at least 1,000 worth of cards, even just in their raw form. If I were to resell these without saying, you know, getting a good picture of what the condition was, Jesus, I might be able to get away with $1,000 because that's how crazy it is right now. So how did I lose 30,000? Well, let me tell you another story. When I was a kid, back when I was doing this thing, you know, I had, which I actually don't have pictures of it for some reason, but I had like, even in this thing that you saw, I had like 4 Dragonites, combination of holographic, non-holographic. I had a first edition non-holographic. It was like, I can't believe how many different versions of that card they had. But back in the day, I had a first edition holographic Dragonite in very good condition because I had just gotten it. And, you know, you quickly wise up, like, as soon as you open these, put them in a sleeve and then put them in a harder sleeve, you know, the, whatever they call those. I'm ashamed of myself because I can't even remember. But the hard plastic thing, you know what I'm talking about. So I had it in there, you know, as soon as I got it. And I remember as this went on, like, I would open them with my dad. And he was aware, like, hey, these are probably worth money someday. Yeah, he was right. So he was, you know, more keen on that. So he would make sure of those things. I remember my sister played softball, and at one of her games, you know, this is back in the day when every kid was running around with a binder and Game Boy games. So it was like, it was a sure bet. If there's kids there, they're going to have their card binders, they're going to have Game Boys, and you know, they're going to be playing Pokemon, whatever. So I don't even remember exactly what happened, but basically, my first edition holographic Dragonite, I traded some kid, and his dad, this is the worst part, his dad was there. He knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah, son, take advantage of this little kid. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I traded him that card, which at a 10 right now is worth like 20 grand or more, you know, and that changes every day. It was either a 9 or a 10 for sure, because I put it in a sleeve right away and a hard thing, and I took good care of it. So, you know, 9 and 10 values, whatever that is. Maybe let's just go with the 10, 20 grand. I traded that card for a Moltres, which actually you can see, or you could see in the screen. I have it. I still had it in that picture. That Moltres, which is just holographic, you know, not first edition or anything. And a Gengar, also not first edition, which I don't see it in that picture, but I don't know why it's not in that picture. Not first edition or anything like that either. So a Gengar and a Moltres. They're worth, you know, maybe in the first edition form, but the ones I had, they're crap compared to what I traded away. 20 grand. Dragonite. And it was painful. I think I was watching like Logan Paul's thing. One of Logan fucking Paul's videos. And I'm not a huge Logan Paul guy, but that card came up like, I pulled a first edition Dragonite, bro. And then like the value pops up on the screen like, oh, that's a great reminder of what I lost. Thank you for that. I traded it away. And they knew what they were doing because like I said, I had like 5 versions of that card. Every version you could have. What card did they want to trade for? Yeah, you know. They know. When I'm a kid, I don't know. I didn't know the difference. Obviously, like, oh, this one's shiny and this one's not. But I'm like, first edition, I don't care. I have 4 other ones. Why would I care? But his dad was like, get that first edition, son. And they screwed me. So I traded it. And I was like, cool, Gengar and Moltres. These cards look awesome. And I even remember I told my dad about that. And he doesn't really remember, but I told him this story. Since I'm back into it now. And I was like, I remember I told you that I traded that card for these 2 cards. And even then, and he didn't know anything about Pokemon cards. He doesn't know the values, the differences, other than this one's shiny in first edition. I know this one's more valuable. And I told him I traded that card away. And I remember he was mad at me. It wasn't even just like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. It was like, he was mad at me. And I didn't even understand that for the longest time. Boy, oh boy, do I understand it now. 20 effing grand and counting. So that card alone was the most valuable card that I ever had in my hands. And slipped away. I was the thing is, I want to talk a certain way, but this is Pokemon cards, age 6 and up. I think you're aware. There might be kids who find this, so I'll keep it a little bit more PG. I can't help if I let a couple F-bombs out, but I wasn't going to say what I was about to say now. Isn't that just... It kind of sucks, right? Because this is a kid's game at the end of the day, and you can't even enjoy it because... Don't play with those cards. That could be worth 20 grand one day. Right now, it's worth 100, actually. It's like... What is it? It's not a trading card game. It's like crypto or something, you know? It just shoots up in value, and then it can just drop for no reason. And you're just hoarding cardboard and boxes, but I say that and I'm doing it now because there's something about it. There's fun in the fact that it's like valuable, it's hard to get. It makes it really annoying. And obviously like scalpers and all that. And it makes you do things like wait in line, which I never thought I would do at age 34 for freaking 6-year-old and up pieces of cardboard. It's pretty crazy. But it does make it more special. So it's like, if it wasn't that crazy, and you could just walk in, no problem, and buy them, and it's worth maybe $1 over MSRP or something. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. So it's just it kind of sucks. It's bittersweet. It's a better way to put it. But it is people don't like losing money, right? And especially when it's something like that, where it's like this piece of cardboard one day will be worth 20 grand. And this is just a small scale. Imagine someone who did that with a first edition Charizard card. I know there's people that have done that even worse. The only difference would be if they knew it was, all tore up. But if they knew like it was in good condition and they did whatever they did with it, that's painful. It's painful on my level with the first edition Dragonite. Man, just looking at my pain on screen here. I just can't believe it. It's one of those things you wish you had the almanac from the Back to the Future movies, where it's just like, I don't know. Like I said, I gotta watch what I say, but just for the topic of this, I normally won't, so don't count on that. But man, it was crazy back when it came out. It's crazy now. But if you really knew what I was going to turn into, I remember which I was going to do another topic on this, but it took me the longest time to even get a Charizard. I was hunting for it for a long time. I never got to open it in a pack. That's always the card most people wanted. I actually got it. I'm kind of cutting into the other episode. I was going to talk about this specifically, but I finally got it because someone just gave it to me, because they had 4 of them and 2 of them were first editions. God, I hope they kept those cards, because they literally would have $1 million in their hands. But they just gave me their base set one. I don't even know how they were associated with me. I just know they had 4 of them. 2 were first. And I remember their parent was with them, and they knew I was... I can't remember how this person knew me. Maybe it was on my sister's softball team or something, because I would go to her games. I don't remember. But they knew how much I wanted a Charizard, and they're like, have pity on the kid. Give him your base set one. And that's how I got it. But I remember going to card shops back then, because I was trying to get one, saying a first edition Charizard, $100. Like, you could buy it back then. And of course, as a kid back then, you're like, oh my God, $100? Whoa. Back when the packs were like, what, $3 or something? You hear what I said? $100 back in 2001, 2002? It's like 500 grand now. It's crazy. It's crazy. But what you all came here for, the Dollar General Knockout Pack. I'm going to open it because every time I talk about Pokemon, even though this isn't a Pokemon channel, I'm going to open something that I got. And this is going to be the lucky winner because I have more cool stuff I'm not going to waste on you guys right now. But guess what? You keep following. I'm going to open whatever I do. It's a reaction movie review. I'm going to open something. It's going to get cooler and cooler. Including Chaos Rising. I got some of that, luckily. Through Pokemon Center, which is nearly goddamn impossible. If anyone's tried, you know. You got to wait, you know, put it in a 3+ hour queue. And then by the time you get in, usually everything's gone. For Chaos Rising, I guess, lucky, but the ETBs were all gone. But I got some of the other stuff. So I'm going to open some of that. Here we go. I don't even know what's in these. I just, like, during my initial phase of, like, let me check every store to see what I can get because I can't get anything. This was at a Dollar General, so I was like, I guess I'll get this. So, a Kyogre promo card. Ruby Sapphire. I remember playing that. What else we got in here? Some cool stickers. Let me put that on the camera lens. What is this? Surging Sparks and Twilight Masquerade. Scarlet and Violet. You know, there's something... Speaking of Scarlet and Violet, I got in after that set. I don't like just getting these random sets. I'm like a completist when it comes to this. Like, when a set comes out, I want to go all in. Like, Perfect Order. I've been all in trying to get that because I want to complete the set. It's not just about, I just want the most valuable card. I'm going to sell it or something. Like, and it doesn't matter what it is. Pokemon cards or any kind of collecting, I'm a completist, which is horrible financially because I kind of obsess over it. Like, I need to complete the set. It's really not healthy. Don't do that. But it makes me like these sets even. I'm never going to collect these. I can't complete them, so that actually really annoys me. But whatever, you know, $10 a Dollar General. I'm opening it for you guys that the nobody that's out there. All right, let me just open this. I don't even know what's in here. You know what to expect or whatever. What you're trying to look for. It's the same thing with Phantasmal Flames. I have like a little portfolio thing that I got. I didn't even know what card pack was in it when I got it. And I know that was a popular one. I missed that window, and I don't want to get it because I can't go all in on it. I don't want to just get random packs of it. I guess there's some exceptions. Let's see what we got here. And I'm not an expert at doing this. I don't do the card trick. I don't even have a good setup for this, to be honest. And this is live, so I can't cut to some other camera. Ooh, Clefable. Helioisk. Cramorant. Luxray EX. Well, that's not bad. At least it's a EX card. And the two best cards in the whole thing. Oh, I'm getting blown up here. That's great. Alright, let's open the other one. I actually live in a small town right now, by the way. So the fact that there's any kind of scalper activity here is really annoying. Like, this is a small town. It's kind of isolated, too. Which probably means, you know, maybe there's a couple travelers, but there's like a ring of probably 3 guys that are just getting effing everything. I wanted to, again, I'm trying to be good. And like I mentioned last time, I think one of the King Scalpers, I actually got a First Partner Series 1 pack from them, which I really wanted to get, and it was impossible to get. I don't want to spend $60 on that when it costs $15. And, you know, it's still coming out. He was so kind to give me one after he cleared the entire store when I waited in line. Executor. You know, I wish I wouldn't have missed... I wish I would have got into this earlier. You know, the 151 and the prismatic, all that stuff. Because I generally like that stuff. Oh, that's great. Any of that worth? I don't know. I don't know anything about Scarlet and Violet sets. You know, this is what I don't like. Now I have floating cards from these sets that I can't complete because I'm just not going to. I'm already financially drained from what I'm doing right now. But there you go. I open something. Every time I'm going to open something, if I talk about Pokemon cards, whether it's a movie, you know, the movies, whatever it is. But I'm not, again, I just want to clarify. This isn't a Pokemon channel. I just like it. So I'm going to, you know, make a couple things on it. I'm going to rewatch a couple of the movies. Obviously, I'm going to start with the first one, but the one with NT that came out in 2000 after that, the remake that they did that's like CGI or 3D, whatever you want to call it, and then what is it? There's another one that like was well rated, and I can't remember, but I'm going to watch like 4 or 5 of them basically, maybe more, and I'll do reactions to them, you know, full movie reactions, reviews. I'm going to talk, you know, do some lives with them. I don't know. I might do some more because, like I said, I'm building a relationship with a local card store, and I just like it, so why not? So, if you find this, if you join me at any period and you liked it, I will be talking about more Pokemon cards. I'll be opening them. Chaos Rising. I did get some, so I'll be doing that too. You want to watch the movie with me? I'm going to be doing that, doing a movie review. Every time I do anything like that, like I said, I'm going to be opening stuff. So, this has been Off the Couch Talk. I hope you join me. I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff, movies. I'm a filmmaker, and not making any Pokemon movies because... Oh, Detective Pikachu. I'm going to watch that too. I never watched it. I hope to see you out there, and it's time for me to get off the couch, and I hope to see you next time. Don't lose money on Pokemon cards. It feels horrible. Goodbye.